like some of the others have said, I don't think I really belong up here. It was labor of love, what I did in Broken Arrow and continue to do. And it's kind of contagious. It's, recognizing the roots of your community as a tribal town that started, who knows when, it's ancient in Alabama on the Chattahoochee River, and Broken Arrow being the daughter town of Coweta, one of the 4 original towns of our nation. Isn't that incredible? And it still survives, and we still survive. And I think you could have dropped me into any century, anytime, anywhere, as long as I was in Muskogee Creek, I would have been tremendously proud of our people. Because it doesn't matter what era you look at, what century, what situation. We've had some pretty bad situations. My dad went to school at UCHI, and he learned to speak English the hard way. And you know what that means. But you could have dropped me into any of those centuries, and I would have been tremendously proud of our people, how we were resilient, how we dealt with adversity and came out on top. And I am tremendously proud today of our government, of our leadership. And it seems like we're doing something good all the time. And we take care of our people. We don't put money before integrity. And that's why I'm so proud. And I hope that each one of you is also proud. But working on the museum, I discovered and brought together people who told some really nice stories, and the Childers family being one of those stories. But Napoleon Bonaparte Childers, he was a judge in Indian Territory for the Coweta district. There was a courthouse at Coweta, and that was about all at that time. And his son was Ellis Childers, and he served in the House of Warriors for several terms. And he was a leader too. And then his son, one of his sons, and he had several, was Ernest Childers, who was earned the Medal of Honor for his bravery and just absolute miraculous behavior in a military battle in Oliveto, Italy in World War II. And he has an amazing story. It needed to be told. It needed to be shared with the community, both Creek and non-Indian, because everybody likes it. They all like that story. And then the tribal town history was also one that needed to be shared. We also shared in that exhibit the circuit of churches around Broken Arrow, and how that's why we have Fourth Sunday. Because every fourth Sunday, then the preacher came to your church and you hosted the dinner, you had your service. We need to remember those things. And those churches in Broken Arrow and the tribal towns around Broken Arrow, it's an area that I continue to do research on. My grandmother was Lujapoka Town, and my grandfather was Coweta, Broken Arrow, and then Big Spring was a tribal town where Springtown Church is today. There's not, it didn't last as long. I mean, it didn't become a incorporated town like the others did, and neither did Chiaha. But Chiaha was right there on the Verdigris River. We were all there together, and I know how they got there, how they came in, what they did when they first got there. And it's delightful to know, and it's delightful to share. So thank you for sharing this award with me today. And I'm glad for all the people that are here. I've got some museum people from Broken Arrow and DAR people and some old relatives that came to see me today, and I really appreciate their being here because they're part of that story too. And I just, Mado, thank you so much.